iRock Radio, the world headquarters of rock. Karolyi and Stephen Wayne hanging out in Studio 3C this afternoon. And our special guest, Ryan Kristafer. Thanks for coming out and spending some time.
It's been a lot of fun, guys. Thanks.
Welcome to our home.
Fun conversations.
So, you're on Channel 8, you're doing, Connecticut Style, and you're doing all these segments. Tell me about Cruising Connecticut.
Yeah.
You're not responsible for all those ideas, right? You have people helping you coming up with all these things, or is it on you?
Yeah, well, it depends on the day, I guess. But hopefully nobody's watching back at work. It's a mix. I mean, I come up with a lot of them. That people at work, also at our assignment desk, help come up with them, and it's cool because it's a creative process. You kind of look at what's going on in Connecticut, the season, holidays, and you try to just find what people want and deliver it. So it's cool because every day we have to go out and turn a package and go out. But it's a hustle every day because I'm getting in at 6 and I'm, as they call, fronting your package. So I'm in the studio and I'm saying, hey, we're going to iRock and we're going to have a great time today. Take a look. And the package airs, and then then I write CT Style, like our opening bit where we talk about what's brewing. So that's where we talk about the daily things that are going on and silly stories. So then I host CT Style, and then I go out and shoot whatever package that is. So like today we went to haunted historical tour of Old Weathersfield. So it's something different every day. It's cool.
That's pretty well, but man, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work. Talk about those caffeine pills.
Yeah.
Eat them from time to time.
Yeah.
It's definitely a hustle, but at the end of the day, it's rewarding because I always enjoy seeing the finished product, because it's like, you created it. There was nothing, and then you went out and, a couple hours later, you have this segment, and hopefully people take something away from it, whether it's a laugh or a smile or they hate it. I don't know.
How much creative control do they give you?
Pretty much a lot. I mean,
That's great,
I haven't had them say, hey, Ryan, you can't do that, which is nice. I also try to know where the line is. There have been a few times where I'm like, hey, maybe I should, maybe not. I might be pushing the envelope a little too much. But I think it's important to, if there's a line, you kind of want to, you don't want to step over the line, you just want to kind of dangle your foot over it to kind of get people a little.
We know that so well.
Yes, I'm sure, yeah.
So well.
But here we can say do whatever
here
we
it's
want.
different.
We have no rules here.
Yeah, do you guys have bleep sounds here?
We could, but we don't need them.
Yeah, do you have like the blur thing over my mouth?
Yeah.
It was so weird back in terrestrial radio. Not you had to really curb yourself. So
Yeah.
we've learned over the years that you can't, once those headphones goes on, your foul mouth has to cease.
Yeah.
And here, even though we can do it, it's just you just don't still feel right doing it.
Right. Did you ever have any slip-ups back in the day?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One time,
If you want a week off,
the band Fuel was playing the Webster in Hartford,
Yeah.
and we were doing an acoustic performance and an interview.
Mm-hmm.
And it's obviously not intentional. I mixed up the word bucks and fuel, and I said for just $20 you can see the show, and I meant $20.
Right. But it was a Freudian slip.
Yeah.
Right, and the bands too. I mean, they've been known to slip up. I remember our first live broadcast when Marlon took over for it, and bought the station. We were at the Webster again with the band 7 Mary 3. I lean into the band and I go, listen, we're going to go live. And John, our engineer, was there, the head engineer, and he had already said, and he's swearing, I'm cutting this broadcast off.
The whole thing.
Lean into the band and said, listen, we're going to go live, make as much noise as you want, just don't curse, man. If you curse, it's going to be over.
None.
We go on the air live from the Webster, WCCC, Stephen Wayne and 7 Mary 3. The guy says, how the fuck is everybody doing? And John goes, bye.
Wow.
So we didn't even make 30
Shortest
seconds.
live broadcast.
And then you look bad, right? Then it's on you.
Just have that, going on like it's still going on,
Right.
and then just going, because I know he cut it off.
Yeah.
So, but I just continued on like we were still broadcasting because we had people there, so you have to entertain the people and make them think that we're still on the air.
You never know when the mic's hot. That's like with the whole Billy Bush thing. What's your take on that? Because I look at it from my perspective. They say, so I've heard some people saying like, oh, we feel bad, but I'm like, out of anybody, and Trump or Billy Bush, he should know Billy Bush. Because the photographer was up there shooting B-roll of a segment of the truck, like he should know. Anytime a mic is on you, there's a possibility to be recorded. So it's like I feel bad, kind of, but also at the same time I don't.
Anytime you're in a studio or you're wearing a mic on your shirt, you have to assume that it's hot, that it's on.
Absolutely.
And if you don't, that's on you.
Right.
You know?
And you keep that's why sometimes when we're around mics and people are like, you're on radio, we kind of like we're quiet until the mics go on and we have a specific thing we want to say because we don't want to say anything.
Say
that's
it
gonna,
off the air, right?
Yeah,
That'll get you
exactly.
in trouble. Yeah,
Exactly.
Gotta be careful.
Tell me about like your co-host. Well, you have Teresa
Yeah.
as your co-host,
Sure.
and but you seem so chill with yourself. You seem so like comfortable in any settings.
Yeah.
What's it like when you have to? Maybe if she's out, like she was out recently, and you
Mm-hmm.
had somebody else filling in. How is it for you to get comfortable with another co-host for a period of time
Yeah.
and switch back and forth?
Yeah, I think it's finding out like the strengths and weaknesses, how they kind of lift you up and make you better, and vice versa, and you kind of figure out what their strengths are. And it takes time. I mean, even when her and I first started, it takes time to build that chemistry and to have it set in. I'm sure you guys know.
Sure.
It's like meeting somebody on the street. You don't just meet somebody and all of a sudden you're, well, I don't know about you two, but
I hate him. You would never know.
I can punch him in the
I love you
sack.
guys. Yeah. But like if you're walking down the street and you meet somebody, you're not gonna instantly be best friends. It takes time to grow that
Sure.
relationship. It's just
Yeah.
like any other thing in life. But it's cool because then you get to a point and you feel like you're actually vibing and you know what they're gonna say. You can kind of set them up without having to say, hey Teresa, I'm gonna say this and you're gonna say this and okay,
Right.
then we're gonna do that. Like you kind of know the shtick. And you know on the show I kind of play the goofy guy, so it's like I know my place, she knows her. She's sort of the straight man, and I say dopey stuff that I normally wouldn't say at the supermarket, but I say it because I'm trying to get a reaction from her. Or
Sure.
say something stupid.
You have the fun part of the job.
Yeah, right. Which I enjoy. So
What kind of stories or subject matter do you want to cover that you haven't yet?
that I haven't. I've never done anything like super serious when it comes to politics or hard news, which I would say I don't want to do. I like the fun stuff. I mean, everything that I've done I enjoy. I do really like storytelling from the perspective of I've done a lot of interviews with like old World War II vets and telling their story about back on D-Day, and that's not my normal shtick per se, where I'm going around doing dopey stuff. But it's really cool because I watch it back and I was like, wow, that was cool. Like that was, I almost cried a little bit there.
Sure.
I think that's a huge thing. I'm sure you guys can relate is emotions. It's like as long as you're evoking some sort of emotion out of somebody as a viewer or a listener, whether they're laughing, crying, happy, sad, it's like you got to pull something out of them for them to be intrigued. So it's cool to pull out those different emotions.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not easy to do.
Yeah.
You know, and especially, and a lot it depends who you're interviewing,
Who you're with, yeah.
whether they're willing to give. But
Yeah.
if you can pull that out, and if you're being emotional, your viewers and your listeners are for sure.
Yeah, and I think people can hear that and see that if somebody's authentic, whether it's a radio host or a TV person or whatever it may be. I think the average viewer and listener can smell that out.
Absolutely, and that's something we've learned over the years, that people that take their listeners or their viewers for granted are missing the boat, because they know what's going on and they can cut through the BS pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And they know when people are real and when they're not real.
Yeah, you
Which is
gotta stay
amazing
grounded,
to me, being in radio. They're not seeing it, but there's many times, I know Mike can attest to this, where people have come up and said, God, that interview was just, it was awesome. You know what I mean? And you don't think of it that way.
Yeah.
But they know.
Right.
They know.
And I think being a real person, like the best interviews are the ones where nothing is scripted. You don't know what you're gonna like this. It's just guys talking because it's relatable. People can say, oh, I want to have a beer with that guy, or I want to hang out with that person. I think it humanizes people, because back in the day, I know at least for me growing up, when you see somebody on TV or in radio, you like look up to them like, oh man, I can't talk to that person because he's on TV or whatever. Whereas now it's like, okay, well, whatever.
Come on,
Yeah. Come on.
Right.
So tell us what's coming up. What can we look forward to on CT Style and Channel 8?
Yeah.
What do you have going for the fall and all that?
Well, so much. I mean, all fall we're touring leading up to Halloween. We're doing like the spookiest places in Connecticut, so the places that you won't see, and then also some family-friendly things where you can take the kids, and whether it's haunted hay rides or corn mazes, you guys can head on over there. So I'll be covering all that kind of stuff. And then on CT Style every day we have great chefs that come on, and we have our What's Brewing segment where we again share those funny stories. So I mean, I always say to people, hey, watch it once. If you hate it, don't watch again. But give us a try. It's a half hour of your day, and
You always say your grandmother will love you.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's you.
Yeah.
Right?
Grandma, hey grandmas, any grandmas listening and watching, tune in. Yeah.
That's funny. So make sure you tell your dad we said hello.
Absolutely. Yeah, guys, thank you for being
Teresa's a
so
metalhead, by the way.
hospitable. Oh, is she? Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
For real?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna have to call her out on this.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to, we'll have to get
yeah.
Teresa in here.
Oh,
My
yeah,
God.
absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It could get wild.
Now, how do you know this for sure?
Yeah.
We've been around a long time. haven't
Yeah,
we?
yeah.
We know.
May have seen her at a show.
Yeah, I've seen her at Toad's Place.
That's
You know,
it. Okay.
You know,
A time or two.
Word gets around.
I'll have to tweet her and see what she says.
She's gonna deny it.
What's the story? I saw one of the stories you did where Benedict Arnold is haunting some graveyard in Connecticut.
Yeah,
And why?
I don't know if I really bought that. You know,
I didn't
that was
either.
one of the
Why
moments
Connecticut?
where I.
See, again,
well,
back in Connecticut.
So
Yeah.
after the fact, after the segment, I found out his wife is buried in New Haven. So maybe that's the connection. But they were saying that Benedict Arnold haunts the New Haven Green, and that's.
I
at
found
least
it
in their
interesting.
words. Yeah.
But, you know,
He,
right,
believes,
it was-
he
it
believes
was-
all that stuff.
I believe some of that
Yeah,
spooky stuff.
Are you guys
yeah.
into that?
Sure,
Yeah.
We used to have a girl come in on Halloween and do the Ouija board. And she was
You had a
dead.
Ouija board in here?
Dude, no, at
Yeah,
CCC,
yeah.
and she
Yeah.
was dead. Dude, you could talk about realism. I would be listening in the car because I didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah,
And I
right.
could tell by the tone of his voice that he was freaked the F
scared,
out.
really?
Yeah,
bro.
there were a few
Oh,
times, yeah. He'd get so scared he'd made in his pants.
Yeah, double boom boom.
Wow. Getting wild. Have you guys seen the Annabelle doll from?
I've heard of it, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
I've seen it, and we're doing another segment with the guy who runs it, Tony, and that's freaky because it's just a doll that sits there, but the stories that they have about that thing are just
Right.
creepy, and there's a lot of like weird haunted things here in Connecticut. It's
Yeah.
something you don't always think about.
Yeah, because people are dying to get out of here.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that-
Come on! Yeah!
Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Spending some time here at iRock
Thank you
Radio.
very
it was
much,
great, man.
man.
It was
Great
great.
to
Thank
meet
you
you,
guys.
brother.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Everybody watch CT Style on WTNH Channel 8 here in Connecticut, and of course see you doing your Cruise in Connecticut segments. We wish you all the best.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Boom!
Cool. That was fun.